Um, well, just trying to clean up some of the things from the scrimmage, but also moving into a little more third down work today. And so the defense puts in a little more exotic blitzes, all the third down pressures, and that causes a lot of protection issues on the offense. So it's good work today. We're doing some more 2-minute situations, which will help us. And team's having a good attitude, and they had to just carrying on from the scrimmage. So that's really all I got.
When you had a chance to look back at the scrimmage, Derek, what stood out for you that you didn't notice initially?
Well, I think the two things that were kind of the headline is we're showing a lot of improvement running the ball, and we're playing a lot more aggressive with some toughness on defense. And that's nothing more important than those two things. But we didn't throw and catch very well, and it starts with the quarterback. Tyler didn't play as well as he's capable of playing. We got to do a better job at wide out against press. When the DBs are challenging us, there's about 3 or 4 teams in our league that play it like that, and it's different. You can't get frustrated. It's not clean. They're not giving you access, so we got to work on that, and then we just got to eliminate a lot of the mental errors.
You've said in the past you're not big into day trading throughout camp. Can you read anything into Rajon's numbers at running back as you sort through the battle there?
Well, I mean, it's good to have that kind of production. So I say we're not day trading, but we're moving guys around because we're trying to evaluate them. But Rajon's having a really good spring, and he just needs to keep going. He's playing a lot faster. He's playing a lot more physicality, and his numbers reflected that.
Was that a move up for him then, or
what do you mean?
Marlon came into camp he was at least the top of the organizational chart.
Oh, well, post spring is when we roll these guys all the time. We do it just about at every position. So
I was going to ask you, is there any major changes from your original organizational chart to now, and
Nothing.
Kind of how you sift through, and then with the last couple weeks of practice?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything significant. We're going to take a look at Jerron Toney on defense, so that was a major, just looking at him in a nickel spot. But nothing significant. Sliding guys here, sliding guys there. Nothing major.
Is this the point of spring camp, though, when you start scaling back maybe some people and start giving others more work to get that depth chart in place after spring?
We're just really carrying on the way we've been doing. Yeah, so we hadn't changed much. Guys are getting a lot of reps and a lot of work, and I want it to be like that so we can evaluate the body of work over the 15 practices.
You've been very complimentary of Tyler up until your comment about him not playing as well. How disappointing was that in scrimmage? And maybe what was the issue there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not disappointed in his off season and his spring. He's having a good spring. He just wasn't as accurate. He wasn't as sharp as he's capable of being. So I don't think it was anything that we start panicking over. He just didn't throw it as well as he can, and I think not having Justin sometimes hurts. So we got a lot of guys out there at receiver, probably trying to do too much. But I'm not that concerned about it because he's working really hard to get better.
What do you take away from scrimmage one that now we've got to see improvement here in scrimmage two?
Probably the throwing game, execution in the throwing game, and I think because we've emphasized our running game so much and we're a little depleted at receiver, it's probably to be expected. And usually the throwing game is always the latest to come because of all the timing. So hopefully we can see some jumps in that.
Derek, can you talk about getting Zach Fulton back into action?
Yeah, it's good to get him back. What's that?
Where's he kind of fit now?
Same spot. So he'll be in there battling with James at right guard. We'll see how he does.
Have you been asked about Marlon playing yet?
What about him?
Just anything. I want to make sure I don't make the same mistake as last year.
No, now you're paranoid every time you come over here.
Just gotta make sure. How much have you kind of maybe talked to him about not dancing in the backfield? I feel like that was, maybe that was something that he struggled with.
Yeah, it was all the backs, really. That's been our number one emphasis of really hitting and playing fast. And so he's shown a lot of good signs in practice. Didn't scrimmage as well as I'm sure he had hoped. But hopefully he'll rebound this week and have a good scrimmage next Saturday.
How much of his hesitation in the back of last year was him being a freshman? How much of it was maybe not being 100%?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is to that. So I think it's just something they got to form a habit of trusting what's going on up front, hitting the hole, and then playing with physicality because there's going to be bodies in there hitting.
When do you start putting evaluation of what you can do defensively, schematics versus personnel? I'm sure that's somewhat ongoing. Kind of where are you?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to happen until after spring. You know, we're going to just keep putting stuff in and keep doing stuff, and then try to get a good beat after spring about where we need to head for fall camp.
Do you have to be careful, like when you watch a scrimmage tape and go, "Oh, we can't do that. We don't have the personnel to do that."
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
I don't. You got to be careful to jump the gun because you want to make sure the guys are playing fast and then, you know, identifying the reason of why it didn't work. And there's a lot of young guys too out there that you can't beat up for not getting it. So it just requires patience, coaching, you know, motivating, teaching, developing, and it's all you can do every day.
You think you guys have a better sense of what Dever can do and how best to use him this
Yeah,
spring?
I think so. He's really blossomed a little bit at the running back position. And so, you know, we're obviously going to use him more there. He just can do some things that a lot of guys can't. Has a lot of quickness and instincts, has a burst. He can really make some big plays for you.
And at tight end, is Mike having that kind of spring you expect to see somebody, you know, guy who's been here for 3 years, who's visited to being a senior?
Yeah, Mike's doing good. We got a good group of tight ends, I think. And probably the hardest thing on them is, you know, the learning part, because that's the hardest position. We're using them in the backfield. We open them up, we put them on the line, we use them as pass protectors. And so Mike's doing what we thought he could do, and Cam and Brennan are really coming on.
So you're short a couple guys at the nose. What has Greg Clark done this spring?
Greg's had a good spring, and you know, Greg was a guy who really nobody talked about until this spring. I think the move to the 3-4 really gave him a chance because he's you know, he's a big, thick body. He can hold the point in there, and he's playing good for us.
With Brewer back at safety now, how's that Sam backer position looking right now?
It's you know, Crump's having a really good spring, and we got Sapp there, and of course with Majid out, he's another body depending on where Herman plays. So it's still work in progress. We're looking at Willie Bowe a little bit there, you know. So I think we got those Sam Jack bodies. We're moving around a little bit. Then you got guys like Jordan Williams who kind of have an in Jack body that we can look at. So we got bodies. It's just finding the right ones.
Greg King had some pretty good numbers in the scrimmage.
Yeah. Greg's doing a lot better. You know, Greg's biggest issue is I don't know if he's practiced more than a week at a time since I've been here in 2 years. And so, but he's got size and he's got explosive power when he tackles. He's got a good attitude. We just got to keep him on the field. And so I'm going to reserve judgment until, you know, we go through a spring without him getting hurt.
Derek, how much are you counting on these on freshman running backs this year? The guys
You mean the guys that aren't here yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that's going to be predicated on what the guys here do. You know, I mean, if the guys here blossom the way we hope they will, then we won't have to force feed the new guys. But of course, the new guys are going to get an opportunity to get in there and compete. And we've never been afraid not to play the best player. So what you don't want to do is have to force it on. You know, you want to feel like you got some good, dependable runners back there, and then let's get in there and compete and see if we can get better.
How has Barrington Sanmore done so far this spring?
He's been good. He's still, you know, working on his consistency like most of the guys on defense, and stamina is going to be an issue with him. You know, with like most D linemen, big heavy guys, when they go a lot of snaps, getting tired. So he's got knowledge of the system, which I think has helped him.
He said it was harder to stay in shape when he was at JUCO.
Yeah.
Have you found that common denominator
Well,
for JUCO guys?
they don't usually come in tip-top shape, but I don't know. I can't speak for their programs. CP looks like he's in pretty good shape, but we'll see. I think a lot of it is when they get out, you know, it's that last semester, too, after football, if they're staying around. You know, the JUCO coaches really aren't there to push them because they're worried about their next year's team. You know, it's kind of like the guys last semester in high school. Got to have a lot of self-motivation to stay in shape. All right?